QMS, Quality Management System. The QCTO wants you to communicate with them in writing that you are a compliant business that is operating according to written policies and procedures, and the QMS is the tool by which you communicate that with. QMS essentially is the application. When the QCTO audits you, they audit you by an evaluation form, and that evaluation form has specific requirements. So here we have the requirement for registered as required by South African law, which is your CIPC documents. So here we've slotted your CIPC document in, LGTCOM 50, which is the document number, and Appendix I, which is the appendix of that document number. Valid tax compliance PIN. Here we've slotted that in as Appendix C2. So each requirement, we show them the document evidence by pointing to a point in the QMS where that document exists. Sometimes there would be a document with a section number. So here we have implementation of effective quality assurance processes by management, and here we've given LGTCOM 70, which is a document number, and section 4.2, which is where the QMS procedures are given. So each time there's the requirement, what they have asked of you, and you provide the evidence as a point in your QMS where that evidence exists. The QMS is the application. I use a container system that is indexed. So firstly, the index, I have a document that is document number 000 of that pack. The items here in red are items you normally require for accreditation applications. And for every single component of this QMS, it is indexed. So here we have document number, what the component is, and where you find it within that document. The QMS is not one document, it's multiple documents. So here's document 50, 60, 70. 70 is a large one, and then multiple other document numbers. So the QMS is indexed and is a container system. The container system I use is one of the documents in the QMS are a container for the specific documents that you need to provide that are not written policies and procedures. So for example, your financial information we were talking about, you need to provide tax compliance status. That falls under financial information. I slot that in section C over here. You will insert your SARS tax clearance under Appendix C cover sheet, and in the electronic copy you can just insert it into the PDF. So I use a container system, which I find is very effective. You also need policies and procedures, forms and templates. So I provide one document that contains lots of policies and procedures, as well as forms, templates, and codes of conduct and other things. So this document, for example, there are organizational policies and procedures. These are policies and procedures whereby your company is described. So your financial policies, your financial procedures. QCTO will require you to have these policies and procedures in place. Language policy, alcohol and drug policy, customer and marketing policies, evacuation policy, audit, human resources, regulatory and legislative compliance policies and procedures. Policy and procedure for how you do everything in your company. There are training specific policies and procedures. So this is learner focused policy and procedure, learner management policy and procedure, identifying learners with learning difficulties, management of POEs, certification policies, RPL, a policy and a procedure for everything you do, assessment, moderation, everything. Codes of conduct, the assessor, the facilitator, the employee all have a code of conduct, even the learner has one. Forms and templates are necessary to run your operation, so an attendance register for when your learners attend class, a learner feedback form for how they felt about how the training went, an appeals form in case they want to appeal against a decision, an enrollment form for when they enroll. You need forms and templates to run your training operation. The QMS provides a lot of those. Your QMS should provide those, you will need them. A good QMS will also provide other documents that you need as part of a South African training business. So for example, this QMS provides a information manual to meet your POPI and PIA requirements. Provides a workplace template, workplace motivation template for if you have workplace modules. I've had a company draw up a contractors agreement for me. DWP Law did this one. So you can have a solid contract for your assessors and moderators, whether they're full-time or part-time or ad hoc. An agreement is needed. Learner induction and career guidance. These documents you will fill your company name in here, which will then populate throughout the document, and you also put your logo over here, which then it becomes your QMS. There's probably there's nearly 100 people who are currently using this QMS. Then the QMS needs to be updated. So this one you can see has been updated. There have been 7 revisions for this QMS, which was released in 2018. Well, first release came out in 2018. It has passed countless QCTO, SETA, Department of Labor, SAMHSA audits. You need a QMS, and that QMS needs to be customized for you. It needs to have your logo, it needs to have your company name on it, it needs to be relevant to your company. So that is QMS.